My name is Kayla, and I'm a longtime participant and board member of Bike Week Winnipeg, who in addition to creating this video, my fellow Bike Week ambassadors are assisting with the in-person ride at the Forks on June 26th. Bike Week is a week-long celebration of bicycles for everyone that rides. We like to say, it's for everyone. Because we aim to provide something for every type of cyclist, so whether you ride for recreation, fitness, transportation, sport, or just for fun, if you enjoy riding a bike, then Bike Week is for you. Ride Don't Hide is an annual charity event. And did you know it costs approximately $330 annually for each Canadian to have access to community mental health resources? Ride Don't Hide plus Spirit Week is a call to action. Please consider raising $330 as an individual or form a team with 9 others and set your collective goal to $3,300 to get 1 or 10 more folks in Manitoba the help that they need and deserve. The Canadian Mental Health Association provides advocacy, programs, and resources that help to prevent mental health problems and illness, support recovery and resilience, and enable all Canadians to flourish and thrive. Yoga and cycling is a great way to help our mental health because it helps reduce anxiety, it helps take away stress, it helps release tension through the body. And not only does riding do those benefits for our physical body, but also which affects our mental health, but also the camaraderie, the community you build, and friendships, right, can all help us thrive in our mental health. So if you are agreeing with me in all of those things, please consider donating to Canadian Mental Health today. Even just $33 will go a long way to help us reach the province-wide goal of $100,000. So please visit ridedon'thide.com/Manitoba to make your donation right now, today. Great. So cycling and yoga, awesome. So great combination to do together. So a lot of the poses and stretches we'll do today are specifically for cyclists, but great for everyone. And these types of stretches are great to do at the middle of your ride or at the end of your ride. So let's begin. We're gonna start off with the calf stretch first, right? We get lots of tightness when we're riding our bikes in our calf. So we're gonna stretch those out there. So I'm going to turn my back to you to demonstrate. So you're going to want a wall or a tree if you're outside in nature to do this. And you're simply going to just turn around and put your hands to the wall or to the tree so they're at shoulder length. And then you're going to bring your feet together, and then you're going to make sure that both of your feet are facing the same way. And then you're going to step back as far as it steps back, and then you're going to lean in so you feel that nice stretch in the back there. If your knees are lifted, just bring them down. And if the elbows sag, make sure they're nice and straight here, just pushing in, looking down to the floor, just getting that nice stretch in the back of the calf here. Check in with your breathing. Breathing is super important, so make sure you're inhaling through your nose, exhaling through your mouth. We'll just hold it here for another few seconds. Watching those elbows for 3, 2, and 1. Let's switch it up here. So we're gonna step in, put the other one back, making sure always that we're in good form. So bring our arms out to shoulder width, and then leaning in again here. Getting that nice stretch to the back of the calf for 3, 2, and 1. Then you can step that up and release, give that a quick shake. So we want to do everything about 2 times. The first time when we're into our stretches allows, the body to kind of know what we're doing. The second set allows us to go deeper in our stretch. And if you have time, do it a third time, great, but 2 times will get the job done. So let's go ahead and do that one more time. So switching now maybe to the opposite leg than you started before, putting your hands up there, making sure they're at that shoulder height here. Both of your feet are in the same, pointing the same direction, the same line here, and then step back that leg here and just lean in. If the kneecaps are lifted again, be mindful just to put them down and just breathe into your stretch, holding it here for 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and switch. So you can take that there, and the other one comes back. Making sure both the feet are pointing in the same direction. And bend in, lean in, holding it here. Feeling that nice stretch around your calf. For 3, 2, and 1. Awesome, step it in. You can give that a shake. Great stuff. So we're gonna come down to the mat. You can also do any of these things outside. You don't need equipment to stretch. The beautiful soft grass is a great way to re-energize as well there. So if you don't have a mat, you're out in nature, you can also just get right down on the grass here. So we're gonna move into a downward dog. So lots of ways to get into the downward dog. And so we'll show you a couple of variations. So you can come down onto your knees. You can come down onto your knees here. And a more gentle first way is making sure that your wrists are stacked under your shoulders at all the times here. And then you can come down to your knees here, bring your hands in further up towards the top of the mat, and then you can push yourself up from your knees. Then we're trying to here is get the heels down to the floor. If they don't go there, that's okay. One day maybe they will. Just keep envisioning your heels going down as you lift up to the sky here. Hands are nice and wide to the mat, pushing down. Your gaze is up towards your belly button. And we're just gonna hold this here, get a nice stretch down through the legs, the lower spine, to the back. Holding it here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And you can drop down the knees here to take a break. And let's move into a child's pose. So we'll take our 2 big toes, bring them together, sit back onto our heels, and reach those hands forward, head down. Nice stretch here, releasing, holding it here for 3, 2, always breathing, and 1. So we're gonna go ahead and do that a couple more times, maybe 2 or 3 more times. So I'll show you the other variation if you're feeling nice and loose and want to come down. So you can also come from standing here, and you would just lunge it back. So you bring the body forward, hands down, and you just step back one leg, hands come to down, step back the other leg, and then open up the same way, bringing the heels down towards the mat, and pushing the hips up to the sky, heads nice and wide, and pushing down, the heels down here, just holding it here. Looking up towards your belly button, hold it here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drop the knees down again for a child's pose. Bringing the 2 big toes together, sitting back on the heels, reaching forward with the hands, head down to the mat. And just breathe into your chest, restore your energy. Biking is a great cardiovascular workout, so we want to make sure we get a nice breath flowing through the air. So we're breathing in through our nose, exhaling through our mouth at the same pace. All right, let's come back up here. Let's go ahead and do that downward dog 2 more times. So from here in this position from the knees again, we just lift up, pushing those heels down, bum to the sky, looking towards the belly button, hands nice and wide, and just keep pushing those heels down to the mat to get a nice big stretch to the back of those legs. Holding it here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come back down to the child's pose. We're going to do that downward dog 1 more time. Coming back to the child's pose. Bring again those hands forward as much as possible, and then bring the head down. See if this time now you can walk those hands a little bit further to get a deeper stretch. Always listening to your body. Take a nice big breath in here, in and out. Holding it here. And then we're going to inhale, and we're always moving on our exhale. So on our exhale, we're going to bring ourselves back up to that tabletop position and move in for our last downward dog. So if you curl those toes under, pop yourself up, push those heels down to the floor as your hips come up to the sky, hands nice and wide, looking towards that belly button here. Maybe noticing now that your heels come down a little bit further to the floor. If the kneecaps are lifted, then release. Breathing here, holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So we're going to walk our feet up now towards our hands. And then we're just going to roll up nice and slow, because we want that fresh blood that comes from the brain to come back to our brain nice and slow. Because sometimes if we bring our head up before the heart, we can be dizzy. So we want to go nice and slow just to bring that back up. You can roll the shoulders out if that feels good. And then you can just come back into the middle of a mat here or the middle of your space. We're going to do an extended leg pose. So from here, you're going to bring your legs nice and wide. The wider it is, usually it's a little bit easier. Making your feet parallel to each other. You're going to put your hands on your hips. You're going to inhale with a nice big smile. And on the exhale, hinge forward. So that way your back, shoulders, neck, and head are all in line if you can. Coming down nice and slow as you hinge at the hips. If the kneecaps are lifted, bring them down. Coming all the way down. And when you get about halfway, then you can let the arms hang. Maybe even making a triangle if that works for you on the ground. And thinking at the top of the crown of your head, coming down into that triangle one day. And giving yourself a nice big stretch to the back of the legs and a little bit into the groin area here. So just reaching that down, holding that down here. Just breathing it out. Check in with the toes and not curling on the mat. Breathing for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're going to put our hands back onto our hips and we're going to come up nice and slow and controlled, bringing that nice flat back all the way back to the top. And then you can heel toe touch your feet back together to give that a little break and give that a shake. So we're going to do that 2 more times. So again, noticing each time if you can get deeper into that stretch, breathing into that stretch on your exhale to go a little bit deeper. Okay, so let's do that again. So we're just going to extend those legs out again. So maybe play with this here if that feels good for you to be short, like more narrow or more wide. Feel what works for you. Most important here is your feet are parallel to each other, hands at the hip, and thinking about hinging forward. So a nice big breath in. And exhale to hinge forward. There we go. All the way down. Again, when we get about halfway, we can release those hands, maybe make that triangle if it serves you. Coming all the way down. Thinking now of the crown of your head, getting into that triangle. Keep pushing, thinking of that reaching there. We'll get a deeper stretch to the back of the legs here. Looking down. No sense to look at the screen for right now. Just let your head hang down. Let gravity do the work there. Beautiful. Feeling that nice deep stretch. Holding it here. Check in with the toes and not curling on either side for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So same thing, hands on the hips. Let's hinge that back up one nice line if we can. All the way back up. Awesome. Heel toe touch. Back in there. Give those legs a little shake. Awesome. Of course, drink water at any time that you need it. Always, water is a great way to replenish the body. All right, so let's do that one last time before we move on to the next stretch. So play with that again if you want to go deeper or wider, making sure the feet are parallel to each other, hands at the hips. All right, here we go, friends. Inhale, exhale, hinge it forward. Nice and slow and controlled. If the kneecaps are lifted, bring them down. And then when you get about halfway down here, let's just release those hands all the way down, finding that triangle, thinking of the crown of the head into that triangle. Nice deep stretch here. Again, the knees like to lift, so bring them down. Uncurl the toes and just breathe, letting the body feel the stretch. Holding it here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hands to the hips again. Here we go. One nice line, back up to the sky, all the way back up. Awesome. And then shake that out. Okay, so let's come down to the mat again here. We're gonna move into cat-cow, which is gonna really help that spine when we're riding here. So we'll do cat-cow a few times here. Okay. So always setting up for success. We always want to make sure we're in good form. So we're going to make sure that our wrists are stacked under our shoulders and our hips are underneath our, our knees are underneath our hips. And we can have our feet flat here and we can just give our feet a little stomp out if that feels good. And you can stay with your feet flat here, or if you'd like a little bit more extension through that spine, you can curl the toes under to start. So let's take a nice big breath in. So we'll inhale all the way up. So your back just comes up, arched like a cat, and your gaze looks again towards your belly button. And I like to envision a string in the middle of my back, kind of lifting me out just a little bit more into that extension. And then I'm going to exhale. The toes are going to uncurl. The hips are going to sink back. The belly's going to come down. And the neck is going to extend all the way out. Awesome. Again, thinking of a string on the crown of your head now, lifting you up just a little bit more. Also, you can imagine looking up towards your third eye or the top of your eye sockets, and just hold it here. And let's inhale. One more breath. And so we're going to move with the breath always. So let's inhale, let's back up. Exhale, come down. Let's do this 3 more times, moving with your breath. Two more. Really feel like that string is lifting that spine up. Get a nice, beautiful stretch there. And with that movement of the breath, bring it down. One last time, friends. Moving with that breath, curl the toes under if that serves you. Bring it all the way up. And then exhale to bring it down. Great. Well, let's release this with the child's pose. So bringing the 2 big toes back together again. And we're going to bring our hips all the way back. And this time let's go nice and wide. So bring your one hand to the left side of your mat, one side to the right side, and just sink back and then push your fingers away. Just a nice couple of big breaths into the chest here, nice and slow. Two more nice big breaths here. One last time through. Bring your hands back to center, bring yourself up into that tabletop position, and then move yourself over onto your back. We're going to move into a side twist here. Okay, so coming all the way down to your mat, you're going to extend your arms out on either side. That's great. And then you're going to bend your knees in towards your body so your feet are flat onto the floor. And then you're going to inhale, and then as you exhale, just bring your knees over to one side, but be mindful not to lift both of your shoulders off of the ground. And just kind of breathe into that, getting a beautiful side twist in here, releasing tension. Your gaze is just up towards the sky, just breathing into it for 3, 2, and 1. So inhale, exhale back to center, extending those arms out there. They're active down here. Back to center, realign, inhale, exhale, bring those knees to the other side. Gonna feel a nice stretch into that twisting action. The gaze is just up towards the ceiling or the sky, whatever you're looking at today. And just breathe. Send your breath down your beautiful side body. We're going to do this 2 more times each side. This should feel good. We're going to inhale, exhale back to center. Inhale, exhale other side. Notice maybe on the second and third times, if your knees can go down a little bit deeper towards the floor, but being mindful that your shoulder still stays on the mat. Reaching from those extended arms here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, exhale back to center. Inhale, exhale other side. Really breathing into that side body. We're going to do this 1 more time each side. Feeling that extension on the arms here. Checking in with your arms, they're fully extended. Inhale, exhale back to center. Inhale, exhale, last time on this side, friends. Smiling because it's so good to do this for our bodies, give ourselves this self-love. Inhale, exhale back to center. Last time through. Inhale, bringing that head back to that center. Looking, bringing those knees over. Awesome. You can also have your eyes closed for any of these postures if that feels good for you when you're down on the mat. Inhale, exhale back to center. Great. Now you're going to take those knees and just hug them in towards the body to give a little bit more compression for that spine and the lower lumbar here. So the hands are down away from the knees or under the knees. They're never on our knees or any of our joints. We're just going to hug those knees in towards our body, bring the shoulder down. Just breathing in and out. Feeling that nice compression on the spine. And then we can rock side to side. Great. Let's extend this all the way down just for a second and give a nice big stretch, reaching up through the fingers and the toes, pretending like there's strings on either our fingers and our toes reaching from opposite side. Nice big elongated stretch here. And then release. We're going to move into a bridge. So into a bridge, it's going to really help in here. So you're putting your hands to your side, nice and on either side, nice and flat here, and your feet are parallel to each other. And we're going to lift up. So want to make sure that your toes are spread nice and wide here, and that you feel all of the bottom of the floor, the mat, on the tops of your toes, the sides of your feet, the heels, on your toe mounts, so you get equal amounts of pressure when you're putting your foot in to extend the pelvic and the hips up and the glute up. Okay, so hands on the other side. Also be mindful that your hands aren't gripping or cupping the floor. We want those nice and flat here. We want all of the work to happen down here and not through any pulling or pushing down on with the hands. Okay, so let's begin. So we're going to inhale. And then exhale to lift that butt up and then the shoulders roll up here, okay? And we're pushing that bum up as much as we can, checking in with our toes are not curled up here. And we're going to hold this here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice and slow and controlled. Let's bring this back down. Awesome. Let's do that a couple more times. So a nice big breath up. So we're going to inhale and then exhale and then one more. We're going to inhale and then exhale to lift up. Get that bum up there. Bring the hands down. Hold it here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice and slow and controlled. Awesome. One last time. We're going to inhale, exhale, lift up. Feel those big, strong legs working for you. Lift that bum up, roll the shoulders back, hold it here, uncurl the toes for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice and slow, 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 slow back down. Awesome. Great. We're going to finish up this nice little stretching practice before you kind of carry on with your ride or maybe the rest of your day by extending both of your legs all the way down here and coming into a nice elongated position. We're going to inhale and then exhale to open up to bring your hands above your head. There can be a soft elbow to start. This is just going to create some space around the heart, getting nice fresh blood around the heart and just opening up that chest, because that's what we're using when we're doing any cardio workouts, especially on our bike. We're using our cardiovascular system, so we want to have that nice expansion through the chest. So we're going to inhale and then exhale. On the exhale, reach those hands above your head. So you're elongating those arms, but you're reaching from your core as you lift all the way up through, and your legs are going to stay soft for a second. So just shake them out to make sure they're soft. Keep your eyes open or closed as it serves you. Soft through your jaw, soft through your face. So again, your shoulders stay down away from your ears as your fingers reach up. So we're going to inhale. Exhale, reach out through those fingers. Oh yeah, feel that stretch, soften those legs. And then inhale, exhale, add on by clenching the butt. The calves are going to lift, toes are going to point in the opposite direction from the fingers, and reach and extend out through both of your fingers and your toes. Feeling that nice, big, deep stretch to the full body. Holding the stretch, not holding the breath for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Extend those legs down nice and slow. And you can bring your hands back down by your side nice and slow, coming all the way down by your side. You can give your legs a little shake here. If you'd like to bend the knees back and towards the body here, you can go ahead and do so. You can even rock around the hips from side to side with one knee at a time. You can bring them together and do circles. You can compress them in. Whatever serves you and your practice today. All right, rolling side to side. Great. Bringing those legs back down to the extension again. We're just going to roll over onto our side. This is a safe way for us to get back up. We could just hold a little cradle here if we like for that wonderful, great stretch and self-love that we've done for our bodies and our mental health today. We're going to take a nice big breath in. Exhale to put our weight into this bottom hand, lifting ourselves up to a seated position. And wonderful. What a great way to spend a day out riding your bike. Don't forget to check out Ride Don't Hide on the web, and please come out and support. We'd love to see you out there riding. Happy riding, and stay safe. Take care.